Tonight, you are going to fall asleep. You are going to close your eyes, go completely still, and lose consciousness for 8 hours. You will not be able to move fast. You will not be able to scream loud. You will not even know what is happening around you. And if you live anywhere near nature, a forest, a field, a mountain, something out there could, in theory, walk right up to you. A wolf, a bear, a big cat. You are completely vulnerable, completely unaware, a warm body lying on the ground in the dark. And almost nothing ever happens. Think about that for a second. Billions of humans sleep outside, sleep in tents, sleep near forests, sleep under the stars every single night. And wild predators, animals that are built to hunt, built to kill, built to eat meat, almost never touch them. Why not? Most people assume the answer is simple. Animals are scared of us. We smell weird. We're too big. But that's not even close to the full story. Because when scientists started pulling this question apart, they found something much stranger underneath. The real answer tells you something about the ancient deal between humans and the wild. A deal that goes back hundreds of thousands of years, a deal your body still remembers even if your brain has completely forgotten it. Stay with this until the end, because the last part is going to change how you think about the animal staring at you in the dark, and about yourself. Let's start with the obvious question. Are predators actually avoiding sleeping humans? Or are we just getting lucky? Turns out it's not luck. Researchers who study large predator behavior have noted something consistent across species. Lions, leopards, wolves, bears. These animals have extraordinary senses. They can smell a human from miles away. They can hear a heartbeat at close range. They know you are there long before you know they are. And in most cases, they walk away. Wildlife ecologist Dr. Craig Packer, who spent decades studying lions in the Serengeti, found that even in areas with dense human populations, lions overwhelmingly avoid sleeping humans. They enter camps, they circle tents, they could take a meal, and they leave. That's not random, that's a decision. So what's driving it? Here's the first layer. Predators are not fearless, they are calculators. Every predator in the wild is running a constant risk-reward equation. Does this meal justify the danger? A lion that attacks something it doesn't understand is a lion that might get hurt. A hurt lion can't hunt. A lion that can't hunt dies. Humans, even sleeping ones, are an unknown variable. We don't smell like prey. We don't look like prey. We don't move like prey. We are bipedal, which is already strange. We come in weird shapes. We have unnatural smells, fires, cooked food, clothing, metal, smoke. We belong to no category the predator's brain has filed neatly under food. And unfamiliar things in the wild are dangerous things. This is something behavioral ecologist Dr. Joel Berger documented extensively in his research in the American West. Animals that have lost their instinctive fear of humans often pay for it with their lives. The ones that survived evolution were the cautious ones, the suspicious ones. Caution is not weakness in the wild. Caution is survival. But here is where it gets genuinely fascinating, because fear of the unfamiliar doesn't fully explain it either. Lions in Africa have been eating humans for thousands of years. They know exactly what we smell like. They know exactly what we taste like. There are documented cases of individual lions, the Tsavo man-eaters, responsible for killing an estimated 35 workers in Kenya in 1898, who hunted humans deliberately and relentlessly. So lions are capable of targeting humans. They just usually don't. Why? This is where the deeper layer comes in. And this is the part that most people never think about. Predators don't just learn from their own experience. They inherit behavioral patterns across generations. A lion cub that grows up watching its mother avoid humans will internalize that avoidance as a baseline behavior. And humans have been on this planet for a long, long time. Here's what that means. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans were not helpless. We were the most dangerous thing in the environment. Before guns, before metal weapons, even before agriculture. Ancient humans hunted in coordinated groups with spears, with traps, with fire. We wiped out entire megafauna populations across continents. Woolly mammoths, cave bears, mastodons, giant ground sloths. The fossil record is brutal and clear. Wherever early humans showed up, the big animals started disappearing. We didn't just survive alongside apex predators. We competed with them. We won resources from them. We killed them when they threatened us. Evolutionary biologist Dr. Jeff Bailey and others studying human prehistory have argued that large predators co-evolved in a kind of uneasy, learned detente with humans. Not because we had guns, because we were consistently, lethally unpredictable, and that lesson got coded in. Imagine you are a wolf in the forest 100,000 years ago. Your ancestors tried going after the strange bipedal creatures. Some of those encounters ended with the creature throwing a burning stick. Some ended with a sharpened bone in your side. Some ended with an entire pack of creatures showing up screaming and making noise and attacking together. The wolves that kept approaching humans didn't leave many offspring. The wolves that learned to stay back did. Over hundreds of generations, caution around humans became the default setting. That's the layer underneath the layer. The real reason predators leave sleeping humans alone is not just that you smell weird. It's that your ancestors spent hundreds of thousands of years convincing every predator on the planet that you are more trouble than you are worth. Your sleeping body is not protected by your muscles or your awareness. It's protected by your lineage. Now here's the attention reset question. If all of this is true, if predators are genuinely wired to avoid us, why does it sometimes go wrong? This is where it gets complicated. The détente breaks down under specific conditions. And when it does, it breaks down fast. Condition 1, desperation. A predator that is starving will take risks a healthy predator won't. The Tsavo man-eaters were likely suffering from dental injuries that made their normal prey impossible to catch. Humans, slow, soft, predictable in their movements, became viable targets. Condition 2, learned behavior. In rare cases, a predator figures out that humans are accessible. A leopard that steals food from a camp once and gets away with it will come back. If it escalates and there are no consequences, it escalates further. Wildlife conservationist Jim Corbett, who tracked man-eating leopards and tigers in early 20th century India, documented this pattern repeatedly. The animal learns, and once it learns, the old wariness is gone. Condition 3, territory violation. A sleeping human who positions themselves too close to a den, a kill site, or a nursing mother changes the equation entirely. The predator is no longer thinking about risk-reward. It is thinking about survival of its offspring. That's a different calculation, and it almost always ends badly. So the protection is real, but it is not absolute. It is a reputation, and like all reputations, it requires a certain distance to hold. Here's the part that brings it all the way back to you. We live in the safest era in human history. More of us live in cities than ever before. The closest most of us get to a wild predator is a nature documentary or a zoo. We have completely removed ourselves from the environment that shaped us. And yet, your body hasn't forgotten. Think about the fear you feel in the dark. Think about the unease when you walk through a forest at night, alone, far from any light. Think about how your brain scans every shadow, how a sound behind you makes your heartbeat jump before your conscious mind even registers what it heard. That's not irrational. That's ancient. That's the nervous system that kept your ancestors alive in a world where things with teeth and claws were real and close and hungry. Neuroscientist Dr. Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping the fear circuit in the human brain, particularly the amygdala, the small almond-shaped region that fires before you can think. It does not wait for your rational mind to assess the situation. It reacts instantly, because in the world your brain was built for, waiting one extra second could mean death. You feel that. Every time the lights go out, every time a branch snaps in the darkness, your fear of the dark is the same ancient software that made you dangerous. And here's the strangest part of all. The predators outside are not just avoiding you because of your smell or your tools or your fire. They are, in a very real evolutionary sense, afraid of what you represent. The sleeping human lying in the dark is protected by a reputation 100,000 years old. A reputation written not in words but in the bones and instincts of every large animal that ever learned the hard way not to mess with us. You are not prey. You never really were. And somewhere out in the dark tonight, something with yellow eyes already knows that.